Want to know the secret to deep attraction? It's not about playing games or tricks. It's about understanding the psychology behind a woman's desires. In this video, I reveal 7 powerful strategies that can shift her focus from mere interest to obsession. Ready to change how you approach women and truly stand out. Allow me to express this clearly from the outset. Women are not as enigmatic as you might have been taught to think. Once you grasp the underlying psychology of their behavior, emotions, and desires, a profound realization will emerge. Attracting a woman's deep interest transcends mere appearances, wealth, or the role of the agreeable companion. It involves understanding the workings of her mind. In this video, I will guide you through that process with clarity and purpose. Greetings once again, friends. Today, we are exploring a topic in modern dating that challenges conventional beliefs and invites deep reflection. Strategies to understand female psychology and foster deep attraction in women. Indeed, do not pursue, do not desire, do not succumb to your allure. I'm discussing fixation, the type that occupies her thoughts continuously, the kind that alters the narrative and places you in a position of strength. Allow me to clarify. This is not manipulation. This is understanding. This involves recognizing the nuanced psychological cues that often escape the notice of many men while remaining unspoken by women. What is the reason behind this? Because they operate beneath the surface of awareness. They remain unaware of their reactions, yet you will see clearly. What you are about to discover are 7 psychological strategies that engage a woman's emotional framework directly. These are not mere pickup lines or tricks. These are the patterns of behavior, signals of emotion, and shifts in mindset that activate a profound change in her thinking. And once it's turned, she cannot ignore your presence. She begins to desire your presence, appreciating your worth, and even holding you in high regard. Many individuals dedicate their entire existence pursuing the attention of those who hardly acknowledge their presence. Following this video, you will no longer belong to that group. You'll gain insight into the true factors that foster a woman's deep fascination, and crucially, how to evoke it in a natural manner. Prepare yourself, for once you grasp these 7 insights, your perspective on women and yourself will transform entirely. First and foremost, overlook her physical allure. Instead, commend her intellect. Instead, many individuals succumb to the same pitfall. Upon encountering a striking woman, their immediate response often revolves around expressions of admiration, such as, "Wow, you are incredibly beautiful," or "You are the most stunning woman I have ever laid eyes on." Though it may appear courteous or complimentary, it ultimately causes more harm than benefit, particularly if your aim is to distinguish yourself and make a lasting impression. Here lies the unvarnished reality. Women of great beauty receive praise for their appearance regularly. It holds no significance for them. Indeed, they have mastered the art of disregarding it. When you focus on her appearance, you risk becoming just another inconsequential figure, merely inflating her sense of self-worth. She is aware of her allure. You're merely echoing what every other person has already stated. However, if your aim is for her to truly notice you, to dwell on thoughts of you, and ponder why you linger in her mind long after you've departed, then consider this approach. Disregard her allure. Focus on acknowledging her intellect, her perspective, or the uniqueness of her thought process. Women often go unnoticed for their true selves, hidden beneath the surface. Many individuals become so preoccupied with their appearance that they fail to recognize the intelligence, humor, and depth that a woman possesses. Your strength is found in that very place. Imagine engaging with a woman who has shared a thought-provoking insight about a book, a business concept, or a unique viewpoint on relationships. You meet her gaze directly and assertively say, "You know what? Many individuals do not contemplate in such a manner." Your keen awareness of details that often escape others is truly commendable. Such occurrences are uncommon. Indeed, that is a rare compliment for her to receive. It connects deeply with her sense of self. It reveals to her, you perceive what many overlook, and that resonates profoundly. When you cease to be captivated solely by her appearance and begin to connect with her intellect, a transformation occurs within her. She cultivates a sense of curiosity. She begins to seek your validation, because now it transcends her appearance. It pertains to a profound matter, one that eludes her grasp with ease. That enigma holds a captivating allure. This method also leads to what psychologists refer to as a shift in values. Rather than presenting yourself as fortunate to engage with her, you shift the dynamic so that she perceives herself as fortunate to have garnered your meaningful attention. This transformation breeds fixation, as you are no longer just an admirer. You present a formidable test. And here lies the true challenge. When you refrain from discussing her appearance, your words gain strength and impact when you choose to address it later. If you happen to let it slip, I must say, you are also quite remarkable. Once you've established a genuine connection with her, your words resonate much more profoundly as they are rooted in sincerity rather than superficial praise. It is affirmation from someone she holds in high regard. Ultimately, refrain from nurturing the aspect of her that is already apparent to all. Nourish the aspect she conceals. That is the beginning of fixation. Step back when she seeks your presence. This situation confounds a woman's mind in a manner she may struggle to articulate to herself. It proves effective by reversing the emotional narrative that many men adhere to. When a woman begins to express greater interest, texting more frequently, calling more often, and becoming somewhat clingy, many men may feel a sense of triumph, believing they have finally won her over. I must align my energy with hers to ensure I maintain her presence in my life. Thus, they commit fully. Increased focus, heightened communication, and an investment of time. That is precisely the moment to hold back. Here lies a truth that may be difficult to accept, yet it holds great power, once fully grasped. Women do not fixate on men who are perpetually accessible. They fixate on individuals who generate emotional strain. One effective method to cultivate that tension is through the act of withdrawal. Currently, she begins to draw back, not disappearing, not engaging in manipulation, merely being a bit less accessible than she desires, just enough to leave her uncertain about her position with you. That space, those few unanswered messages, that slight delay in plans, that quiet moment when she anticipated noise. In that moment, her thoughts begin to surge uncontrollably. What is the reason behind this? Women seek emotional engagement. Predictability extinguishes allure. When she understands that you are always within her reach, the excitement diminishes. However, when she begins to sense that she nearly possesses you, you trigger a distinct aspect of her mindset. She begins to reflect. Is he perhaps losing his enthusiasm? Did I err in my words? What is it that compels my mind to dwell on this matter so intensely? Well done. You've made an impression that resonates within her thoughts. Many individuals find it daunting to take a step back, particularly when circumstances appear favorable. That is precisely why it is effective. By holding back the impulse to overwhelm her with affection and maintaining your own composure, you reveal to her a perspective she seldom encounters. A man who embraces choices, a man who possesses emotional independence, a man who appreciates her presence yet remains self-sufficient. That energy is compelling. It is essential to maintain a balanced approach. This does not imply that you should treat her with indifference or neglect her presence entirely. It signifies that you uphold mastery over the rhythm. Do not rush simply because she is. Maintain your own pace and focus on your path. It's important to maintain composure and not react impulsively to every emotional expression or call for attention. There is an element of intrigue that you maintain. Maintain your composure. The measured emotional distance is what compels her to pursue. And here lies the crux of the matter. When you express affection, it gains strength and authenticity. Because she understands, it arises from a position of strength. It is an offering, not a request. Withdrawing when she seeks your presence fosters a powerful emotional pull. She intensifies her efforts, seeking to understand you better, striving to regain your favor once more. And that is precisely the position you seek for her. Involved, uncertain, and fixated. Thirdly, invoke a sense of envy with subtlety. Now let's delve into a topic that tends to unsettle many individuals. Envy. Many individuals hesitate to even approach this subject. Some believe that inciting jealousy in a woman reflects toxicity, manipulation, or immaturity. However, let us confront reality. When approached with subtlety and assurance, jealousy can serve as a potent emotional catalyst in a woman. Allow me to clarify. Jealousy is not a means to inflict pain or sow doubt in her mind. It's about conveying your worth and desirability silently, demonstrating that you are not merely waiting for her approval. Here lies the common error many men commit. As soon as they capture a woman's interest, they abandon their pursuits and make her the focal point of their existence. They cease engaging with other women, abandon their own pursuits, and begin to act as if they have already secured the victory. And consider this: that swiftly extinguishes attraction. At the core, women often feel a drive to vie for the attention of a man they perceive as desirable to others. That is the nature of their mindset. When others show no interest, she begins to question her own reasons for being drawn to them. However, if she perceives even the slightest interest from other women towards you, she begins to observe you more intently. This does not imply engaging in flirtation in her presence or boasting about other women. That is immature and quite apparent. The essence lies in maintaining a quiet demeanor and remaining undisturbed. Your demeanor speaks volumes. It demonstrates to her that you possess social value, that her attention is not a necessity, and that your presence is naturally appreciated by others. Silence speaks volumes. Let your presence resonate. The remarkable aspect of this is that there is no need for you to utter a single word regarding it. Women experience it. They are attuned to every subtle social signal. When they perceive that other women are taking notice of you, it naturally elevates your attractiveness in their eyes. It feels as though a switch has been activated. In that instant, when she senses the faint stir of jealousy, two responses emerge. Initially, she begins to desire your victory once more. She begins to think of you often, even when she makes an effort to avoid it. Jealousy, when harnessed wisely, can maintain her emotional engagement. It interrupts the established order. It shatters the confines of familiarity and brings forth the challenge of competition. Women tend to be more emotionally invested when they perceive a need to earn your attention, rather than simply passively receiving it. Excess can lead to peril. When you exert excessive effort to provoke jealousy, it often leads to unintended consequences, revealing insecurity or manipulative tendencies. When it arises organically from confidence, presence, and elevated social value, she begins to strive for your attention rather than taking it for granted. Ultimately, a touch of jealousy stirs her emotions, and when emotions run high, women can become fixated. Maintain your composure, exude confidence, and ensure she understands that she is not the sole one with choices. When she comes to understand the possibility of losing you, her resolve will drive her to take every measure to ensure your presence remains in her life. Number 4, maintain the mindset that you can always choose to walk away. A true strength lies in a man who remains unattached, who faces the possibility of loss without fear, for he understands that his identity is not defined by another. This perspective sets you apart from the vast majority of individuals. Many individuals, upon receiving a touch of affection, a handful of kind words, or a moment of closeness, begin to behave as if the relationship is their sole source of sustenance. They cling tightly, analyze every detail, and go to great lengths to ensure her happiness. Unbeknownst to them, they relinquish all their strength. Women do not fixate on men who display an inability to function independently. They fixate on those who maintain their composure, stay rooted, and remain entirely undisturbed by the prospect of departure. Such confidence compels a woman to pause and reflect on all aspects of her life. Now you are maintaining your composure in response to her actions. You are establishing the benchmark. You remain composed regarding the direction of events. You are deciding whether she deserves a place in your life. When you present yourself with the confidence that you could depart at any moment, it conveys a profound message. You are not reliant on her emotions. You are here to seek understanding and strength within yourself. You are present because she contributes positively. And if that shifts, you will be no more. That is the perspective that captivates women. Not in a harmful or disorderly manner, but in a way that pushes them to grow. It compels them to rise to the occasion, to commit more fully, to contemplate how to capture your focus. And that curiosity, that's where fixation is cultivated. Because you have embraced uncertainty. You have regained your emotional independence. You embody the challenge, the one who maintains composure, and does not reveal everything simply due to her interest. That enigma compels her to explore further. It instills in her a sense of obligation to demonstrate her worth. And that is precisely the position you aim for her to be in. Many women encounter men who fear the prospect of losing them. Individuals who exert excessive effort to maintain harmony, evade discord, and satisfy others at any expense. When you disrupt that cycle, demonstrating that you are a man who refuses to accept mediocrity or emotional manipulation, her perception of you transforms. She holds you in high regard. She reflects on you in your absence. She begins to pursue that sensation you evoke in her, for it is a rare treasure. Departing is not a form of intimidation. It is a principle to uphold. It conveys a powerful sentiment. I desire your presence, yet I remain self-sufficient. When a woman senses that, she moves closer. She commits resources wisely. She becomes ensnared by her emotions. At her core, what she truly desires is a partner who remains grounded in his own identity, someone who inspires her to seek a place within his life. Embrace the unexpected. Maintain an air of mystery. Do not allow her to completely understand you. Excessive consistency in your approach with a woman can lead to unforeseen risks. Hazardous, as it renders you predictable. When a woman believes she has completely understood you, the thrill diminishes. The enigma fades away. The sharpness you once possessed upon first meeting begins to fade away. What is the reason behind this? Human nature inherently gravitates towards the unpredictable. We often find ourselves deeply engaged with matters that elude our complete comprehension. Women are equally resilient. When you embrace unpredictability with a sense of calm and purpose, you remain a constant thought in her mind. You cultivate emotional intensity. She begins to ponder. What will his next move be? What thoughts occupy his mind? What accounts for his change in demeanor today? The tension and curiosity evolve into a relentless pursuit, not due to the games you play, but because you embrace your humanity. Each day presents a new opportunity to break free from the cycle of habitual actions, reactions, and energies. You maintain her emotional connection effortlessly. This does not imply that you should waver or lack consistency in your principles. It signifies a departure from habitual patterns in your energy and reactions. Consider altering your immediate response habit when texting. Cease the routine of offering her the same compliments. Embrace the unexpected instead. Consider refraining from always being the one to make plans. Allow her to ponder whether she will hear from you this time. The nuanced unpredictability is what maintains her emotional vigilance. Imagine you typically adopt a profound and earnest tone when conversing with her. You're perceptive, contemplative, steady, yet there are moments when you unexpectedly shift the atmosphere. Engage in a light-hearted manner, gently tease her, and offer a remark that pleasantly surprises her. She may chuckle, perhaps even flush, but above all, she will experience a fresh emotion. The emotional shift takes root in her mind. She retires for the night, contemplating it deeply, not due to its dramatic nature, but because it disrupted the usual pattern. Women seek a spectrum of emotional experiences. When every word and action becomes predictable, they begin to disengage emotionally. When they sense that there's always another facet to your character, something just beyond their grasp, their interest remains piqued. They dedicate greater time, deeper contemplation, and heightened emotion to unraveling your essence. That is precisely what you seek. The objective is to avoid falling into monotony. Routine can lead to a lack of excitement. Embracing unpredictability ensures you remain memorable. Yet, when unpredictability is paired with grace, introspection, and a serene demeanor, it leaves a lasting impression. It awakens that timeless aspect of the female psyche that associates enigma with worth. Do not be the person who consistently utters the same words, responds in the same manner, and arrives with the same energy repeatedly. Embody unwavering confidence while embracing an unpredictable presence. When a woman cannot completely understand you, she begins to construct narratives in her mind. She begins to envision, fixate, and pursue what seems perpetually beyond her grasp. Once you occupy her thoughts in such a manner, it becomes exceedingly difficult for her to release that grip. Encourage her to embrace her competitive spirit by introducing challenges with other women. Regardless of their acknowledgement, many women possess an inherent competitiveness regarding men they find appealing. They might appear composed outwardly, yet when a woman observes that others are drawn to you, enjoying your humor, interacting with you, and seeking closeness, a change occurs. Your defenses rise, yet they do not serve to isolate you. It rises because she now perceives a purpose to defend, a victory to attain, and a cause deserving of her struggle. Many individuals think that once they encounter someone they are attracted to, it is essential to abandon all other connections and concentrate solely on that person. Embrace unwavering loyalty from the very beginning. Demonstrate to her that she holds a singular place in your focus. Though it may appear noble and kind, it frequently yields the contrary outcome. It eliminates the aspect of struggle. It alleviates the sense of urgency. It gives her the impression that she possesses you entirely, and it required minimal effort on her part. However, when she observes that other women perceive you as attractive, intriguing, or enjoyable to be with, It triggers a distinct aspect of her mindset. It centers on her standing, on demonstrating to herself that she can distinguish herself amidst the masses. Women often find the notion of being replaceable unsettling, particularly when they have invested their emotions deeply, when they recognize that you possess genuine options. It compels them to elevate their efforts. This does not imply flaunting other women in her presence. That is clear and lacking in composure. It's about embodying a presence that draws attention effortlessly, without placing her at the core of your existence. It involves cultivating social awareness, charisma, and a quiet confidence that naturally attracts others, making it clear to her that you possess these qualities. When a woman senses competition, even in subtle forms, her awareness sharpens. She observes closely your words, your reactions, and the level of energy you project. When she begins to appreciate your presence, that change in perspective is what drives her to pursue you. Now, you stand as a man of purpose, no longer merely wishing for her choice. You're the person she values, wanting to ensure others don't encroach on what you share. You are the one she seeks to fully captivate. The emotional rivalry deepens her investment, heightens her awareness, and fosters a stronger attachment to the connection. There is a truth that often eludes many men. When a woman observes other women expressing interest in you, her perception of your worth elevates significantly. It is not due to any transformation within yourself, but rather a shift in her perspective of you. In an instant, you transcend the role of merely being someone who has an affection for her. You're the individual who attracts the attention of others, and if they find value in you, it may reveal a depth of worth that she hadn't recognized before. Concern arises that the competitive nature draws from deep-seated, primal instincts. It drives her to demonstrate her worth, to carve out her position alongside you. Once she reaches that state of mind, it becomes significantly more challenging for her to disengage. That is the moment when fixation starts to take root. Seventh in line, provide her with your focus, then withdraw it. Many individuals exhibit a profound yearning for connection, and it is evident. Upon encountering a woman, they receive a hint of reciprocation and immediately inundate her with validation, compliments, time, and energy, as if they are unable to restrain the flow. Even with the best of intentions, there is a fundamental truth they fail to see. Relentlessly focusing on someone without taking a step back is the quickest route to extinguishing attraction. What is the reason behind this? Without contrast, without tension, there exists no opportunity for her to miss you, to ponder your presence, or to truly value the attention you offer from the outset. Understand this. Many individuals must come to a realization here. You've been advised to remain accessible, to consistently exhibit kindness, and to demonstrate your care for her at all times. Indeed, the importance of being a virtuous individual cannot be overstated. Being predictable, emotionally needy, and constantly available does not inspire desire. It leaves her feeling unengaged. The constant influx of attention fades into mere background noise. It fails to resonate. It lacks emotional resonance. It lacks the impact it ought to have. The essence of a woman's obsession often lies in the presence of contrast. It is the journey of capturing your focus only to see it slip away. It is the exhilaration of being acknowledged, experienced, and linked with you, contrasted by the moment of reflection when she questions the absence of that energy. The juxtaposition fosters a profound emotional resonance. Your presence holds significant worth, and above all, it compels her to pursue it once more. Yet many fail to provide her the opportunity to pursue. They are preoccupied with pursuing her, consistently initiating contact, frequently requesting to meet, and constantly filling the void, driven by a fear of losing her. And the irony is, they ultimately lose her regardless. Not due to any fault of their own, but because they fail to allow her the space to truly experience the void left by their lack of attention. Here lies the moment of clarity. Cease your fear of retreating. Cease allowing her response to dictate your actions. You are not bound by her feelings. You are the catalyst for the emotional fluctuations that maintain her engagement. That entails providing her with impactful, authentic moments of connection, followed by silence, embracing tranquility, engaging in your own life, and leaving her in contemplation. The tension is paramount. It prompts her to reflect on your discussions. It prompts her to look at her phone. It allows her to sense the absence you create and yearn for the next instance of your presence. Women hold no significance if they are ever present without variation. It holds significance only when it is deserved, when it comes unexpectedly, and when it resonates as a true reward. There is no necessity to plead for her attention. Demonstrate the worth of your time. When she understands this, it will carry significance. Cease the tendency to overextend yourself. Embrace the stillness and let it guide you. Cease overwhelming her with attention, believing that this equates to love. Present it, then proceed with it. Allow her to experience the weight of that absence. Allow her to approach you in her own time. Once she begins to pursue your energy, you transcend the role of just another guy she has an interest in. You are the one who occupies her thoughts relentlessly. Here is the reality. It is often unspoken that women do not tend to be drawn to the man who offers them everything. They become attached to the one who remains just out of reach. That is the challenging and contentious truth. The greater your availability, predictability, and emotional exposure, the less space there is for her obsession to take root. A woman exists in a state of tension, enveloped in mystery, navigating the emotional landscape where she remains uncertain of her standing in relation to you. That is what draws her to return consistently. It's not about your kindness or your presence. It's about the effort she must put in to gain your focus. This video is not about engaging in frivolous activities. It involves grasping the fundamental psychological realities of female attraction that many men overlook. You have learned to embrace compassion, yet the art of wielding strength remains unaddressed. This is the reason you find yourself being ghosted, overlooked, or left without a response. It's not a matter of your worth, but rather that you lack complexity. Point 8. Grant her the gift of silence. Allow me to share a fundamental truth. Many individuals fail to grasp that silence transcends mere lack of speech. It serves as a signal, a tool for strength. When applied with purpose, it transforms into a formidable tool of influence, particularly in your interactions with women. Many individuals tend to experience anxiety internally without expressing it outwardly. When a woman withdraws, offers a brief response, or falls silent, they respond immediately. They reach out once more. They commit fully. They articulate their reasoning. They seek to be acknowledged. Yet, the individual who understands his worth, the one firmly rooted in his purpose, remains unshaken. He does not occupy the void. He allows it to unfold naturally. That is what sets him apart. However, this is where the intrigue unfolds. In the appropriate context, your silence transcends mere punishment. It appears as though there is a transformation in authority. For a woman accustomed to attention and validation, this shift can be jarring, leading to an emotional imbalance that prompts her to question what just transpired. To clarify, this is not about employing the silent treatment. That reflects a lack of maturity. That is a form of avoidance. No, what I'm referring to is purposeful silence, a deliberate pause, a moment of retreat that conveys, I have no obligation to justify my actions. I will not pursue. I am anchored in a purpose that transcends the present moment, and in that silence a reward is found, only when it is rooted in presence. Allow me to clarify. If you have arrived with sincerity, genuineness, and profoundness, when she has sensed your energy, your focus, your understanding, and then you abruptly withdraw, it strikes with the force of a storm, following the flash of illumination. She becomes aware of the void, for you have ensured that your presence holds significance from the outset. This is essential. If you maintain emotional distance from the outset, your silence carries no weight. However, once you've established that connection, once you've truly seen her and made her feel understood, withdrawing now leaves a profound silence in its wake. Now it compels her to strive, and when she reaches, you remain steady. Patience is your ally. Embrace the lessons that silence offers. Understand this. What unfolds is significant. She starts to link your focus with worth. It requires a significant investment. It is not unchanging. It requires deliberate effort. It is deserved. Contemplate this matter. In a world filled with incessant noise, individuals are perpetually sharing, conversing, commenting, and reaching out, all in pursuit of acknowledgement. Yet the individual who refrains from hasty words, he truly distinguishes himself. He becomes exceptional. In the realm of attraction, that which is uncommon becomes sought after. This exemplifies the principles of Stoicism in everyday existence. Your silence does not stem from uncertainty. Your silence reflects your unshakable composure. You are embracing calmness instead of reacting hastily. You are prioritizing understanding over impulse. That mastery over one's emotions is truly captivating. How can you implement this approach while maintaining warmth? Uncomplicated. Withholding is not a tool for punishment. You retreat inward to find your balance. You remain present and engaged. You take a moment to observe with clarity. Your silence is not a sign of confusion. It is understanding, a fresh start. Should she lean in with curiosity, uncertainty, and a desire to reconnect, it signifies her emotional engagement. Not merely amused, not merely respected, fully committed. However, this approach is effective only after you have established a presence. Do not fade into the background. Do not allow your body to be present while your mind wanders elsewhere. Focus on creation first, then withdraw with clarity. In that contrast, in that moment when your voice fades, when your gaze is no longer seeking hers, when your energy is not in pursuit, you evoke a feeling within her that no mere compliment could ever achieve. I do not possess his focus, and in an instant, her desire intensifies. If you've found yourself in the position of over-explaining, over-talking, or striving excessively to resolve issues through conversation, consider taking a different approach. Speak with intention. Maintain your perspective. Allow the quiet to convey its message. What once seemed like a weakness will transform into your greatest strength. If this resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments. My silence carries significance. If you're beginning to grasp the essence of this series, it's not about tricks or tactics, but about embodying a presence that commands attention. Then subscribe immediately. What lies ahead will reveal the path to defy conventions while remaining true to your essence. Embrace the power of silence. Maintain your focus, position 9. Approach her patterns with calmness and care. Let us delve into a matter that many men remain oblivious to until it is far too late. Women navigate through emotional patterns, not merely habits or routines, but through deeply ingrained emotional scripts they have practiced repeatedly. Discussions on the ways individuals react to external stimuli, the mechanics of attention, and the processes through which connections are established. Those who adhere to such scripts find themselves placed in the same mental category as countless others who have come before. Unremarkable. Yet, the individual who softly alters that routine, not through aggression, but by gentle guidance, is the one who remains in her thoughts. What is the reason behind this? Because you failed to fulfill your role. You provided her with an unexpected gift, something that perplexed her reasoning, yet intrigued her deeply. That is the starting point of obsession. Consider a straightforward illustration. She has grown accustomed to receiving admiration for her appearance. She shares an image. She receives 200 hearts, 10 comments, and 3 direct messages. It occurs without conscious effort. It is to be expected. It is a cycle of fleeting pleasure. Now you step into the arena. She anticipates your compliance, a nod of approval, a kind word, a response in line with the others. Yet you choose not to. Your response is offline, or you express a thought that penetrates the facade. You recognize an aspect of her mindset, her literary preferences, her thoughts, details that have gone unnoticed by others. In that instant, the narrative shatters. She transitions from one man's response to patience. What sets him apart? That is a response driven by feelings. Interruption. Here's where many individuals often miss the mark. Many believe that disruption must be forceful, audacious, and attention-grabbing. Yet, that is merely an alternative expression of the same concept, consistently expected. True strength is found in embracing unpredictability, in stillness. You accept her patterns without resistance. You guide them towards a different path. Consider a scenario where she challenges your resolve. Perhaps she distances herself, engages with other men in your presence, and makes a subtle, cutting remark. Most men respond. Embrace your feelings of jealousy, guarded. Focus on regaining her attention. It is you. You maintain a composed expression, maintain silence, or perhaps recognize it without allowing emotions to dictate your response. That was quite charming. Contemplating whether I will pursue. Then you proceed forward. She finds herself in a state of confusion, yet curiosity stirs within her. Due to the failure of her script, people often find themselves intrigued by that which eludes their attempts at categorization. One must remain unaffected by external circumstances. This encompasses challenges, strategic maneuvering, and inner turmoil. By gently disrupting her patterns, you are not dismissing her. Rather, you are demonstrating your ability to perceive beyond her defenses and maintain your composure. Such occurrences are exceptionally uncommon. That is the moment when a more profound connection begins to take shape. Not in control, not in surrender. In that moment of clarity, she understands that this man does not require dominance over her. He simply does not adhere to the emotional standards that govern others. That is truly remarkable. Here lies the essential point. It should be calm and measured. This is not about undermining her strength. Your intention is not to diminish her or to make a statement. You're effectively introducing resistance where it matters most. Minor, unexpected events that prompt her to reflect, evaluate, and reconnect. A kind word offered when least anticipated. Maintain your composure when she attempts to incite a reaction. Being fully present when accustomed to emotional detachment. Every action conveys a message of deliberate composure. I am here to guide and direct energy. Women, regardless of their acknowledgement, have a deep-seated desire for that. Embrace acceptance, not control, yet steadfast in presence. When you notice her reverting to a well-known emotional strategy, approach the situation with calmness rather than confrontation. Resist the temptation to engage with it. Embrace the shift, marginally, gently. Allow her to encounter the sensation of relinquishing complete control over the narrative, if only for a moment. It will neutralize her defenses, in a constructive manner, in a purposeful manner. And most crucially, it will demonstrate to her that you are not merely a fleeting moment in her narrative. You are the one who revises the narrative. If you find yourself in this situation, having been the one who consistently followed her lead and maintained the status quo, now is the time to make a change. Begin with the basics. Approach with care. Do not adhere to the outdated narrative any longer. If this has sparked something within you, share your thoughts in the comments, and I will reshape the perspective. If you remain present and engaged with this, it's clear you are destined for more than mediocrity. Subscribe now, for the upcoming segment focuses on cultivating an emotional presence so profound that she will find herself drawn in before she even recognizes it. Perseverance is key. Continue onward. 10. Maintain your emotional resilience. Let us conclude with a distinction that sets apart those who leave a lasting impression from those who merely experience fleeting emotions. Before any misconceptions arise, let me clarify that this is not about lacking warmth. It's about maintaining composure, not shutting others out, and demonstrating that you value what truly matters. That lacks true strength. That is fear masked in another form. What we are discussing is a profound quality, a subtle strength, an alluring presence, the capacity to maintain your composure, regardless of the emotions that arise around you. The typical individual tends to respond impulsively. He expresses his emotions in ways that are not constructive. He experiences a surge of joy when she flirts, a dip in spirits when she withdraws, a sense of unease when she is indifferent, and a wave of elation when her interest returns. It is an inevitable cycle, and women are acutely aware of it. Many individuals, often without realizing it, assess for this. They seek the assurance of your unwavering presence. They seek assurance that you remain unaffected by their fluctuations, their quietness, their emotional distractions. For if you can be swayed by emotions at your command, you are not a true individual, you are merely a marionette. When you cultivate emotional resilience, you become a formidable presence, exuding an allure that is both captivating and powerful. Understand this. What unfolds is significant. She flirts, you maintain your composure and offer a subtle smile. She withdraws, stay centered. She tests your composure with a jealous remark, a challenge, a moment to gauge your reaction. You observe it, you acknowledge it, yet you do not engage with it. Such mastery evokes a deep sense of intrigue, not due to indifference, but because you are grounded. Your aim is not to seek her approval. You're not here to engage in emotional back and forth. You have achieved a commendable mastery over your inner state, which is a rarity. We learn that our emotions do not define us. Rather, we are the mindful observers of them. We acknowledge our feelings, yet we choose not to let them dictate our actions. That is the essence of remaining emotionally impervious. It is the control of emotions, a calmness paired with resilience. When a woman encounters a man of that caliber, she recognizes it immediately. His energy exudes tranquility, and his focus is marked by meticulousness. His response time is deliberate. He acts with purpose and intention, not out of urgency. He remains unperturbed by fear, as he does not seek approval from others. He listens intently, maintaining steady eye contact, yet remains grounded and unaffected. Do you understand the implications of that? It compels her to draw closer, not in body, but in spirit. While others may become unsettled by her distance, he finds himself compelled to elaborate, to reach out excessively, and to seek understanding. Yet the man who remains impervious to emotions finds no necessity for her clarity. He possesses it within himself already. That degree of self-sufficiency is truly exceptional. Here is the method to construct it. First, take a moment to reflect before responding, perpetually. Resist the impulse to respond immediately. Pause for a moment. Recognize the discomfort of a veiled remark. Stand firm. Embrace stillness as your primary mode of expression. Secondly, separate your value from her reaction. Regardless of her praise, indifference, or criticism, maintain your composure and remain unchanged. That does not imply you accept disrespect. It signifies that you are self-sufficient and do not rely on external emotional support. That is the resilience she will begin to seek. And third, establish your emotional identity on a foundation that transcends mere romance. Your commitment, your purpose, your principles, your tranquility. When your emotions are molded by the person you have decided to be, no woman, no response, no silence can disturb that foundation. Allow her to ponder the depths of your being. Allow her the space to discern your thoughts. Allow her to challenge you, yet remain unshaken. In that moment, she recognizes that she is engaging with a man, not a boy. She is navigating a relationship with a man who governs his own emotional landscape. When you cultivate emotional resilience, you naturally repel chaos from your life. You draw in women who seek tranquility, women who find comfort in your tranquility, women who elevate themselves to match your steady and composed demeanor. True strength resides in that place. If you have ever sensed that you invest too much too soon or find yourself descending into emotional turmoil, this is your moment for change. Establish the structure. Pause for a moment. Embrace it fully. In time, you will come to understand that it is neither your words nor your emotions that ignite her obsession. It is the things you choose not to respond to. If this resonates with you on a deeper level, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. My emotions guide me. Now you have these 10 psychological shifts that not only enhance your appeal, but also fortify your resilience. However, there is a fundamental reality that many overlook. These strategies are not about manipulation. They focus on evolving into an individual who derives strength from within, independent of external validation. Power is not a pursuit to be chased. It is a quality you personify. Each moment of quiet you embrace. Each pattern you shatter. Each moment you maintain your composure while others succumb to chaos. It transcends the focus on women alone. It's about cultivating a version of yourself that naturally earns respect without the need for loudness. If this video provided you with insight, if even a single aspect resonated with you, then you are already aware of the path forward. Subscribe, not merely for the daily content I provide, but because this transcends the notion of a typical channel. This is a realm designed for individuals like yourself, individuals who have ceased the act of performance, relinquished the need for approval, and are prepared to embrace their true selves. I appreciate your presence and the time you've dedicated here. I acknowledge your presence. Until we meet again tomorrow, remain steadfast. Maintain your focus. If these words echo your truth, write this in the comments. I begin my journey. I read every one, and I walk this path with you. Subscribe, because the stories we've yet to tell are the ones that change us most. What did you think of the video? Be sure to give it a thumbs up and drop a comment to share if you journeyed all the way to the end of the video. Simply utter those words, and I'll understand that this video made a difference for you. Thank you kindly, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more captivating tales like this one. I've set aside a few of our videos that will be quite beneficial for you. They appear before our eyes, alive on the screen,